Hey, what's going on? My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show, presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag, and it's wonderful to have you along for the ride. Catching up a lot of the post-game conversations after the Eagles took care of business against the Baltimore Ravens. A.J. Brown took what Devontae Smith was talking about last week leading up to the Ravens game and took it to the next level. Devontae Smith referred to Saquon Barkley as Superman. And he said if you have Superman in the backfield, you give Superman the football. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, despite the fact Devontae Smith hasn't played, or didn't play in this game rather, really love the idea of Saquon Barkley just taking over a game. And I know it's at their own detriment. Like they don't pad their stats. You know, they don't look great when Saquon's going out there doing his thing. They don't look great when Kellen Moore or Nick Sirianni are completely trusting this offensive line to make giant holes for Superman to run through and maximize his true ability, which is at this point setting a single season rushing record. First, it was LaShawn McCoy's for the franchise in a game, and that was, of course, against the Rams. And now, let's just keep going for it. Let's just go for the NFL record for most rushing yards in a season, which Saquon Barkley could certainly do this year. It could certainly do behind this offensive line. But it doesn't help the wide receivers. We know what it does do? It helps the team. And that's all these wide receivers care about. And I thought wide receivers were supposed to be prima donna divas, give me the damn ball all the time, all the live long day. But not our guys. Not the guys that play for your Philadelphia Eagles, not A.J. Brown, not Devontae Smith. And what A.J. Brown told Saquon Barkley was just a thing of beauty. We'll get to that a little bit later. We'll also get to the work ethic of this football team, because I want to do something. And I said I'd do this last week, and I'm doing this. I'm not revisiting. I'm going to keep true to my word. What happened last year was last year. I don't have anything from last year hanging over my head, and that was even my point last week. Like, if that's going to happen again, another historic collapse, that I find that next to impossible. Okay, so I'm not going down that avenue, and I'm certainly not drudging up a negative topic here, but one of the things Nick Sirianni stayed very true to over the last couple of weeks is the idea that this is a totally different football team. And because it's a totally different football, or one of the reasons it's a totally different football team is because a lot of guys on this team learned from the mistakes of last year. And I don't know if they were distracted, poor leadership, whatever. Everything went wrong at the end of last year. And it seems as if Nick Sirianni and the rest of this locker room, the entire locker room, are pretty determined to not let that happen again. I'm going to let you hear Nick Sirianni's post-game address to the locker room. And there's one thing that really jumps out, and it's at the end of it. He just says, hey, we're working tomorrow, meaning yesterday, meaning Monday. We're working Monday. There's no victory Monday. There's no, we're going to go crazy and celebrate the fact that we just beat the Ravens and that our running back looked better than their running back, and their running back was flipped on their head by our 12-year-old rookie named Cooper DeJean, who just handled his business against Derrick Henry. No, we're going back to work. All right, we got the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. You take the week off, just come on game day. No. That's not the way they're handling this. They're going full steam ahead. That's a team that doesn't sound like they're going to get distracted. That's a team that sounds like they're not going to let their foot off the gas. That's a team that sounds like they just want to keep on going and perhaps set a new franchise record for most wins in a season. Oh, yeah, and I'll do that thing later, like win a Super Bowl. That'd be cool, too. So we'll get into that conversation. We'll also get into Kellen Moore's role on the offense, because this is a real murky thing. Who's doing what? When the season started, we had heard, when the season ended last year and Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni were up there at the dais and they're answering questions from the media, like, what the hell happened at the end of this year? Nick, you're still here. That's something. Nick Sirianni is very clear. Defensive coordinator runs the defense. Offensive coordinator runs the offense. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in these guys, and they're going to run it. So, Nick, what do you do? Well, I'm going to be the head coach of the football team. No, we understand the title, but what are you going to be doing? So the thing that was so crazy about that, as we pointed out many times, game planning. Nick Sirianni always said, I do the game plan, so-and-so calls the plays. I'm going to do the game plan. Shane Steichen's going to call the plays. I'm going to do the game plan. Brian Johnson's going to call the plays. And then with this, it was like, oh, wait. So no game plan? What are you going to be doing? I'm going to be popping in and out of meetings. I'm going to be in the meeting for the game plan, and then bang, I'm going to be over in the defensive backs room. And then bang, I'm going to be in the catering hall figuring out how to make great French toast. And then bang, I'm going to be back over here. I'm going to be with the offensive line. Why would you be with the offensive line? They seem like they're pretty held down well by, Jeff Stoutland. What is it he was doing? Then it comes out he's calling plays during the season. Whoa, what? I thought he maybe just decide whether or not to go for it on fourth down, decide whether or not to kick a field goal, decide whether or not to go for a 2-point conversion. Sounded like he was doing a little bit more than what we anticipated. So it's still kind of murky, and it's murky because of this. It's just an odd thing. I don't understand how the Eagles still struggle so much in the first quarter. And even earlier in the season, before this 8-game winning streak, even earlier in the season, my question was, okay, so is he doing the first 15? And if you wanted to be a hater and just find any negative thing you could throw at Nick Sirianni and say, oh, well, Nick Sirianni's clearly still scripted the first 15, and then after that it's Kellen Moore. Do you see the difference? We don't know. That's the unfortunate thing, and we're not going to get a straight answer on that for a while. But I found it very interesting. One thing in particular that Nick Sirianni said about Kellen Moore, and it was, well, I'll let you hear the full quote, but it started off along the lines of, well, Kellen does a great job of adjusting when he's seeing the way the game is playing out. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, hold on, okay, the game is playing out. Does that mean after your fingerprints are off of it? Like, are you doing the first 15 and then you back off and then Kellen's like, all right, now I got to make a chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what. Thanks. Thanks for handing me these lemons. I look forward to making some delicious sugary lemonade. Huh? Is that what's happening? Because I'd love to figure this out. And look, this Ravens win did something. Did it throw a curveball in an argument that I make after every single win and pretty much every single loss as well. But it's not just about beating the Browns. The Browns, okay, to start this winning streak. It's not just about beating the Bengals. It's not just about beating the Giants. It's about, can you take the way you played in this game and put it up against an upper echelon team and still win? Well, all but turnovers, the Eagles had a lot of the same problems that they had over the last two seasons, where they struggled to score early in games. They did that against the Ravens. They fell in a 9-0 hole. Could have been very, very easily a 10-0 hole, but it wasn't, because Justin Tucker all of a sudden is terrible at kicking footballs. But can you take the way you're playing against those lower level teams and win, and take it and apply it against the upper echelon teams and still win? Well, that's exactly what they did against the Ravens. They didn't play great in the first quarter. They got off to a slow start, and then they dominated the second quarter. They got the play action game going. They hit A.J. Brown over the middle 3 times. They marched it into the end zone with Dallas Goedert, and then they did the same thing again. And as I was saying yesterday, it was a complete team win. Defense did a great job. Offense was great when they needed to, when they had to be, when push came to shove. Defense was forcing fumbles but couldn't force turnovers. Special teams flipped the field twice in this game. So, yeah, you can struggle in the first quarter and still win games, because really all that matters is how you finish, right? Not how you start, it's how you finish. But I am just so curious to know as to why it's a problem. Now, it's only a problem if you lose, right? But why you would still like to see the team that prepares all week to run these plays, why these plays ain't working, and why I'm seeing Will Shipley and why I'm seeing Britton come. So hold on a second, you worked on this all week, and your idea was, I got it. We're going to go to Will Shipley. We're going to go to Britton Covey. Yeah, it's an isolated thing. They're winning football games. I'm ecstatic they're winning football games. I love this football team. I love how they play for one another. Whatever you feel about Nick Sirianni, they're playing for their head coach too. This guy sending a great message to the locker room. He is getting everybody on the same page the way he did at the start of last year, the way he did at the start of the year before that, before they went to the Super Bowl. So everything's falling into place. It's just this one thing that I'm not even angry about it anymore. I'm just curious. Like, what is going on? This is no venom. I'm just very curious as to why they can't get it going. What? You're playing all week, and you show up and you're like, this is what I did. And it's like, well, that's terrible. Go back to your desk and you work on the assignment again, and then you bring it to me in an hour. And then it's like, come back and there's 30 points on the board. Like, what is that? Doesn't make any damn sense. He also did talk a lot about Vic Fangio in yesterday's press conference, and I'm excited about Saquon Barkley, obviously, and Vic Fangio. You're talking about two of the new people. And look, I love Zach Bond. Don't get me wrong. Mekhi Becton's having a phenomenal year. But the Eagles looked at essentially a special teamer and an edge rusher. Howie Roseman brought him to Vic Fangio. And without Vic Fangio, Zach Bond's not playing inside off-ball linebacker. Zach Bond is playing special teams, maybe a little edge rusher here and there. But Vic Fangio told Howie Roseman, "Yeah, I understand why you like this Zach Bond guy, but I think he's a linebacker. I think he's an inside linebacker." Okay, let's see how it works. Pro Bowl talent. Defensive Player of the Year possibilities going on here. I saw stats comparing him through 13 weeks this year, through 13 weeks of Luke Kuechly winning Defensive Player of the Year. Better stats, Zach Bond. How about that? So Zach Bond has been the fruit of the labor of Vic Fangio, and the Eagles defense has benefited greatly from that. Nakobe Dean coming into his own. Kind of think Vic Fangio's got something to do with that. I also listened to, I think it was Rex Ryan. Yeah, it was Rex Ryan. Talk about how Vic Fangio played too high safety, and they were still able to contain Derrick Henry. He's like, the Baltimore Ravens just must have been out of their minds. Like, hold on a second. Too deep safety? And we're still not getting anything going in the run game? How is this possible? Well, Jalen Carter is having himself a Pro Bowl season. Everywhere you look. Guys doing the thing. I wish Jordan Davis would play a little bit more, but apparently that's not the thing. But, man, and these rookies just not lost at all. Coming in, playing to their best, the best of their ability. I do have some unfortunate stats, though. I have some very unfortunate stats about Quenyon Mitchell. Very unfortunate stats. We'll get to it a little bit later in the show. Also, the Monday Night Football game was crazy last night. We got a golden batter rule in baseball. What the hell is that? We'll get into that conversation. Sixers got the Hornets tonight, 7 o'clock. Flyers going for 4 in a row, baby, against the Florida Panthers coming up Thursday night, 7 o'clock puck drop at home in South Philadelphia. Also, the stadium. Oh, boy, the 76ers play stadium. They had the people pro and con and for and against and yay and nay yesterday at City Hall. Yeah, and people yelling why they like it, people yelling why they don't like it, why we should have it, why we shouldn't have it. I am pro. Just put this on the table. I have been pro stadium downtown this entire process. And then I got, but I've had questions. It's been a very general, hey, would you like a downtown stadium? Why, yes, I would like a downtown stadium. But is the city going to be ready for it? It's not whether or not I like the idea of a downtown stadium. I love the idea. All the cities across the country I've been to that have downtown stadiums, oh, man, you go to a game, you walk around the city, you spend your money, the economic development it brings. It's fantastic. However, and especially they're saying this is going to be fully funded by the Sixers, even better. The jobs it'll create even before people walk out of games and go to bars and restaurants and other shops in the area, whatever. Love it. However, so SEPTA wants like $21 million or something like that. I'm like, hold on a second. We haven't factored this in yet, folks. It seems a little late in the process to be like, oh, maybe we need more public transportation. Really? You don't say. You want to bring 20 million people into $21 million to SEPTA, hopefully. And you want to bring 20 million people. I did it again. 20,000 people into Center City, Philadelphia for at least 41 home games a year, plus whatever concerts and other events are going to be going on at the venue. You want to do all that, and you're not going to up public transportation? That seems like a problem. And one of the major things on my list, well, two major things on my list were public transportation and safety. What are we going to do to protect the people coming into the city and make sure everyone in that area is going to be good so they have a great experience in our city? And then how are we going to get in and out of the city? Because public transportation is going to be a huge part of this. And SEPTA's like, yeah, if you want us to run more things, we're going to need more money. Now, is that SEPTA just a cash grab? I don't think so. I think they're legit in that, more trains mean more money. And who wants to run that many? This has been an oversight. This came out weeks ago. And then it was brought to my attention again yesterday when I was watching some of the hearings. I don't even know call them hearings, forum, I guess, where the public can just speak. So they got a long way to go to button this thing up. Overall, yeah. Do I still want it? Absolutely. But not if we're not going to be ready for it as a city. That's what I'm going to cross my fingers for. So we got all that to get to. But first, let's listen to Nick Sirianni in the locker room after the Eagles took care of business against the Ravens. Oh, sorry. You know what? One more thing. The Jameis Winston game last night was the most Jameis Winston game ever. Ever. We'll talk about that too. All right. Nick Sirianni, after the Eagles took care of business against the Ravens, listen to his message to the locker room.
Hey, listen, you earn the right to play in games like this because of what we've been doing all year. And you'll earn the right to get more of these. All right? Really good, though. Hey, the 4-minute, the backed up, all really good. We had some everybody made a contribution today. We're working tomorrow. Yeah. We're working tomorrow. We got a lot to be thankful for. Let's pray.
We're working tomorrow. And then everyone in the back row, oh, yeah, we're working tomorrow. Let's do it. They just beat the Ravens. They're 10-2 on the season. They have an MVP candidate, if not the MVP, my opinion, the MVP. And then Josh Allen had to go and catch his own touchdown pass like a jerk. Anyway, hook and lateral, the old hook and lateral, if you will. Unintentional. But still, in my opinion, the MVP of the league is Saquon Barkley in the backfield. They got the Panthers on Sunday, and they want to get back to work on Monday. They don't want to kick their feet up. They don't want to just relax. They don't want to be distracted. They just want to get back to work. Nick Sirianni said yesterday, this is what he loves most about this football team.
What I love about this football team, this team is determined. It's hungry. It's so locked in and focused. And I think back to last week when you have different things and different schedules that could be a distraction. I just felt like our team was so locked in, focused on Thursday. I keep calling Thanksgiving such a good holiday, and I keep calling it a distraction, but it is. For me, it is until the end of the day. And so our guys were just so locked in, and then they came back on Friday, and it was just, again, where there's a possibility of not being locked in, bam, they were locked in again. And then, I know there's times that you want a victory Monday, and the guys want a victory Monday, but this team's so determined, they're hungry, they're locked in, they're laser focused that, they wanted to work, we wanted to work, and, today's a big day, and there's time and place for victory Monday. I don't want to be next week I give a victory, or a couple weeks we give a victory Monday, and it's every time, everything has a little bit of a reason why. And
yeah, all right. We understand we're going to give some victory Mondays maybe later in the season. But listening to a team that is not just kicking their feet up, listening him talk about his team that just wants to get back to work, listening to him talk about a team that simply wants to dominate is such a breath of fresh air. And look, you follow this team all year, and look, you guys are fans, you know what happened last year. But knowing that they're learning from that mistake, and I'm not saying they lost focus last year. I think a billion things went wrong for the Eagles last year. But listening to him talk about how laser focused, quote unquote, this team is certainly makes me feel a hell of a lot better about this game coming up against the Panthers. Because look, the Panthers, have they been playing better football as of late? Yes, but there is no way, absolutely no way that the Philadelphia Eagles should lose this game, play a tight game, have one of those games where they're looking ahead to the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Oh, this is a definition of a trap game. I've always talked about trap games and letdown games as if it is people trying to be part of a club they're not in. I very much try to avoid even touching the line of, oh, I played in this game or I played this game, because I did not play in the NFL, okay? News break, all right? I didn't play in the NFL. So I try to stay away from things that only people that played in the NFL should be saying. Trap game, letdown game. People say, oh, it was a letdown game, and then they win by 30, and it's like, well, they won that letdown game. I'm like, it's not a letdown game. Well, yeah, it is. It was a trap game. I'm like, you're not playing in the game. You're not in that locker room. It's just a little fairy dust that people sprinkle on it to have an angle on a story. It's stupid. This team doesn't believe in it. And that's ultimately what I get out of Nick Sirianni addressing the team after the win over the Ravens and addressing the media yesterday when talking about how much he loves how determined his team is and they just want to work. You get the head coach of the football team talking about Thanksgiving as a distraction. He's like, I love it, but it kind of sucks. It's like the greatest holiday ever. What? Food and no gifts? All right, let's party. Oh, but it's one of the things that I absolutely love about this team. They're not going to take the Panthers lightly. And you look at this Panthers game, 1:00 kickoff, which is awesome. I'm very happy about that. The Eagles are opening up at 12-point favorites. Yeah, go do that. I think the Eagles win this game 37-10. I think the Eagles win this game 37-10. They win this football game. I think it's a blow. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's something that they're going to be squeaking by. I think it's every ounce of great the Eagles are going to put on display against the Panthers and do exactly what they're supposed to do. Now, something else Nick Sirianni said after the game. Well, speaking of storylines, speaking of sprinkling something on something to make it an angle or a good narrative or whatever, Nick Sirianni wants no part of that. Here he is after the Ravens win, or the win over the Ravens, talking about how his team is boring because they just want to work.
Not at all. I'm boring. We're going to be thinking about the Carolina Panthers. We're going to enjoy this one, and then we'll think about the Carolina Panthers. What I've learned in this league is if you look back, you're climbing this mountain, and I know I've used this analogy a lot, but you're climbing this mountain. If you look back and you're climbing a mountain, you look down, you're going to slip. If you look too far up, you're going to slip. All that our focus is on one game at a time. We can't control anything else that happens, and so our job is to control what we can control. That doesn't make for good press. That doesn't make for good stories. We're boring, but the monotony, the boring, the day by day grind is what gets results.
I've heard many people talk about at every level of football. As how much, talk about how much the practices suck. Talk about how much the preparation sucks. This is college, NFL, even high school. The week of practice sucks. The week of preparation sucks. The meetings suck. Everything sucks except for the games. I've heard people even in this business talk about the preparation they do a show as that's what sucks. The reward is doing the show. The reward is the actual act. Even if you've just painted a room in your house, okay? The best part is painting. What sucks is if you use tape, you got to put the tape down, then you got to put the tarp down, you got to get the ladder, you got to move the ladders, you might have a little smidge, you got to take care of that, whatever. The thing that sucks is the preparation. The thing that's awesome is the actual act of doing what you're supposed to be doing. The NFL is no different. Games are awesome. Everyone wants to play in the game. Not everybody wants to practice. Not everybody wants to sit in the meeting rooms. The differences are made through the little things. And that's what Nick Sirianni's talking about. He's talking about, I'm boring because I'm all about the grind. People want to just see the success on Sunday, but they don't realize what went into it. And this also got me thinking about something else here. And it got me thinking about what makes Nick Sirianni a good head coach. If you can keep an entire team focused through 6 months of a season, through all the practices, through all the meetings, through all the outside distractions, especially nowadays with social media where everybody sees everything all the time. There's no hidden take. People see it. A.J. Brown sees it. Devontae Smith sees it. Saquon Barkley sees it. Offensive line sees it. Nick Sirianni was asked about it at the start of his press conference yesterday. He's like, I don't really focus on that. You see it, but I don't focus on it. All the doubts, no, just let it roll off his back because that doesn't matter. What matters is what happens in that locker room. And one of the other things you commonly hear from ex-athletes is how much it's us against the world all the time. Even in good moments, even at 10-2, it's us against the world. What did Nick Sirianni say when they beat the Rams? Everyone is going to tell you how great you are. We haven't done anything yet. 10-1 last year to 10-2 to losing the number one seed, losing the division, bounce out of the first round of the playoffs. They were 10-1. Good Lord. So yeah, you haven't done anything yet. And Nick Sirianni is trying to keep him focused. He was asked about being boring during yesterday's press conference as a follow-up to what he had to say after the Ravens, the win over the Ravens.
Yeah, I think just what I meant is just like that. There's not a. It takes what it takes. I love when Jalen says that. Winning takes what it takes. Success takes what it takes. The grind takes what it takes. And it's not like this aha moment. It's just putting your head down and working. And that might not always make for the most glamorous story, but it's the work, it's the hard work that gets results. And that's all we're trying to do is be hungry, be humble, and put our head down and work.
I'm so bored. I was so bored just then listening to Nick Sirianni talk. Good Lord. I want a boring head coach. I really do. Because look, all that really matters is winning. That's it. That's all that really matters is winning. And when they go on the football field, they win. So I opened the show talking about not scoring in the first quarter. Yeah, I have a curiosity as to why that's such a thing, not scoring in the first quarter. Why? How? How has it not been corrected? How do you not put one good game plan together, first 15 plays that you execute to perfection? How? It's just, you don't find that somewhat curious? Anyway, but then they win. And I even told you guys, going through this game against the Ravens, the Eagles go down 9-0, and I'm like, okay, well, they're going to start playing at some point here because that's what they do. Now, again, that might be Paulie Pom-Poms, you know? That might be too much of a homer, but it happened. It's exactly what happened. And A.J. Brown, whoa. Hi, guys. This one is the one that derailed the show. Say hi, Rory. Rory, say hi. Rory. Hi, this is Rory. It's my wife's other cat. There you go, bud. Okay. Please stay down there. Please don't jump up here again. We'll get a door on the studio eventually. Usually, first thing it was out, no. First thing it was for the studio for my daughter to stay out. That didn't happen. And now it's for Rory. I have to build a barricade. Okay, that's my headphone wire. This is why I shouldn't have wires. I should get into the year of 2024. Anyway, why did things change? Where was I? Yeah. Why did things change? I'll tell you why things changed, okay? I'll tell you why things changed. Things changed because A.J. Brown had some advice for Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely. All the time.
The question leading up to it. Is it just a matter of waiting for Saquon Barkley to break one? And are you confident that he is going to break one?
All the time. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, what's that feeling like, though, when you finally knows and everything?
Before, it's like, hurry up and do it. And then it's like, all right, thank you. Simple as that. You know, like late in the game, like, we were telling him to go on, put your cape on. Put your cape on. Like, hurry up, let him out. And he did exactly that. So.
Do you actually tell him that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We tell him, let him out. Let him out. Because we knew we had to run the ball that drive, so it was time for it.
How do you not love that? These guys are just supporting one another left and right all the live long day. And that's what I'm feeling. And I've heard the national pundits talk about it. I assume this is true. The offensive line is just beating down on defensive lines. And by the time that second half rolls around, third quarter, whatever, good Lord, Saquon Barkley is just ready to break one. And in this particular instance, it was the fourth quarter. And in this particular instance, it was the Eagles only having 3 yards. They'd only gained 3 yards on 2 possessions in the third quarter. Then they started giving Saquon the ball in the fourth quarter. They had the 3rd and 7. They converted brilliantly on a perfect pass from Jalen Hurts to Dallas Goedert, and a great route by Dallas Goedert, good catch by Dallas Goedert. And then after that 3rd and 7, they did not even face a second down the rest of the way. Got a big gain from Saquon, got a nice gain from Jalen, and then got a 25-yard touchdown run by Saquon Barkley where he followed. Watching this play, I don't know how many times. It's a million, maybe a million by now. Jordan Mailata pulling off the left side from the left tackle spot, obviously, scurrying across the line of scrimmage and up on the inside shoulder of Lane Johnson to clear that space for Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley waiting to get that handoff is probably watching Jordan Mailata go by and just be like, this is why I'm here. Just, and the Red Sea is parted. Let's go to the promised land. And next thing you know, the guy's going to be an MVP. Absolutely insane. Let's keep it with this offense for now. I don't know if this is going to help you guys understand what's going on offensively with this team, but it's just something that stuck out to me. He went on and on and on about Vic Fangio, so I don't want to make you think that I'm only favoring one side here, but we can't say enough good things about Vic Fangio. And Nick Sirianni certainly proved that yesterday when I think the first 10 minutes of his press conference were about Vic Fangio. But Kellen Moore, we're trying to understand what's happening with this offense and who's really in charge, who's calling the plays, game planning. I don't know if this helps you at all, but one thing is for certain. Kellen Moore is doing something different this year with the Eagles than he did when he was with the Chargers, and then he's certainly doing when he was with the Cowboys. And it comes down to what good coaches, or in this case, coordinators, are supposed to do.
I would say that's what good coaches do. They work to the talents of their players, right? I was always taught players formation plays, and so you're always thinking about that. You're always thinking about your players, and that's what Kellen's done a great job. He's just done what we need to do to win football games. And so, but that doesn't mean that when we need to throw it 50 times, we'll do that. I know Kellen will adjust to how the game's going. I think him and the offensive staff have worked so well together. He's got Doug here with him, who's been with him a long time, but I love the relationship that Kellen and Kevin Patullo have. Kellen and Stout and Amo, and Kellen's just done a great job of using the guys we have, using the players that we have, building relationships with our players, that are his players, and man, he's done a great job, and he can, of how he calls. He's very in control in the game of how he calls it, has a feel for how it's going, what he should do in certain moments. I've been very impressed watching Kellen call and lead the offense.
You can obviously jump right to the end there and just say, call and lead the offense. Fine. He does not specifically get into, nor was he asked specifically about the start of games, but what he goes on to say, or what he did go on to say there for that, nearly 90 seconds, is Kellen Moore coaching to what he's got. I can remember when Kellen Moore was just hired, and people were talking about he doesn't run RPO. Then the Eagles got Saquon Barkley. And I remember saying, at the time I said it, everyone was jumping on the bandwagon of this isn't a good hire because of this, because he doesn't run RPO. The point I made, and actually made 2 weeks ago again because of who they were playing in Jared Verse, the Eagles have an edge rusher coming at him. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts are in your backfield. And Jalen Hurts has that ball in the belly of Saquon Barkley with that edge rusher coming in on him. What do? Pop quiz, hot shot. You got Jalen Hurts with the football in the belly of Saquon Barkley. Who you taking? Who are you taking? Pick your poison. It would be pretty stupid for any offensive coordinator to not use that. And then what did we see in the first footage of practice that got released on social media? We saw Jalen and Saquon running the RPO. It would be flat out stupid to not use it. Here he is. He's using it in Philadelphia. And then what do you see out of that? You see not just the option of whether or not Jalen Hurts is going to keep the football and run, not just whether or not he's going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley, but also whether or not Jalen Hurts is going to pull that football out and bang. Who do you got over the middle of the field? But you got A.J. Brown on a slant for 15 yards. I mean, I referenced it yesterday, but 1, 2, 3. The third possession of the second quarter, A.J. Brown had 3 receptions all over the middle for 44 yards. That ended in the tush-push touchdown to make it 14-9 in favor of the Eagles. Yeah, that worked pretty well. Stupid not to use it. And here we are, using it. And he's coaching to what he has. The amount of times they've run the rub route that actually they used on the 3rd and 7 to Dallas Goedert in the fourth quarter to help extend that drive and then later set up a 25-yard touchdown run. That was a thing of beauty, too. And they used that against the Saints and Dallas Goedert, huge game. They used that against the Jaguars. They've used it a bunch this entire season. And they used it there in the most crucial point. I really felt like in that fourth quarter, it was like, all right, now let's just get to what we do well, and the Ravens won't be able to do anything with us. The defense keeps being the defense, and we just win a couple of plays here and there, we'll be fine and dandy. And the Eagles absolutely were. It was a thing of beauty in yesterday's game. Or excuse me, in Sunday's game and Sunday's win. As far as this Panthers game, I still the Eagles. I see the Eagles winning this game, no sweat. And I know you could easily trap game, letdown game. They're looking ahead to the Steelers. After that, you could easily go that route. I don't go that route because I don't believe in it. And this team seems too focused to let anything like that get to them. I see a team going out there playing 3 quarters and then the reserves come in for the 4th. Maybe Saquon gets one more run. Maybe Saquon breaks one. Maybe Saquon, I don't know, doesn't wait so long.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, what's that feeling like, though, when you finally knows and everything?
Before, it's like, hurry up and do it. And then it's like, all right, thank you.
Why wait? Go out there, do it. Handle your business. Maybe this will be the easy one, but just when you hear people talking about the Panthers playing better as of late, they lost to the Saints they beat the Saints by 1 point. They beat the Giants by 3 points. They lost to the Chiefs. These are the last 4 games. They lost to the Chiefs by 3 points. They lost to the Buccaneers by 3 points. Yes, they've been playing better. The Chiefs, by the way, remind me so much of the Philadelphia Eagles of last year. The Chiefs right now are 10-1 on the season. It should be 11-1 on the season. But the Chiefs scrape by. They've got 2 wins this season by 10 or more points. The Eagles last year had 2 wins of 10 or more points last year. They scrape by. They're 11-1 on the season. They just beat the Raiders by 2. They beat the Panthers by 3. They beat the Broncos by 2. Buccaneers by 6. Raiders by 7 in the previous matchup. They beat the 49ers by 10. That's one of their 10-plus wins. Then the Saints, they were back-to-back there. And that's it. Everything else has been a 1-score or 1-field-goal game for them this season. They're not that good. But the Panthers battled them. And the Panthers are going to be showing up, and they're going to try to play, and they're going to try to hang with the Eagles. They're going to try to do that in South Philadelphia. I don't think it's going to work out well for them. I all due respect to the Panthers. Eagles are going to be resting their starters in the 4th quarter. That should be the goal. Maybe Saquon gets 1 run just to help pad the stats if you haven't done it already. But that's what I'd love to see. Saquon get the 4th quarter off. Love to see that. Before I go anywhere else outside the NFL, Jameis Winston last night, again, with the Browns and the Broncos on Monday Night Football in Denver. Jerry Jeudy went off. Incredible game. This was the most Jameis Winston game ever. Like, if you wanted to throw up a game of Jameis Winston, Mr. 33 touchdowns and 33 interceptions, last night, the Browns lost 41-32. Jameis Winston had 3 touchdowns, and he had 2 pick sixes. He also set a franchise record, completing 34 of 58 for 497 yards. Should be 4 touchdown passes. 4 touchdown passes. Let me make that correction. 4 touchdown passes, 2 pick sixes in a loss. But that's not all. Jameis Winston also had a weird as hell pregame speech. Now, I think we can all remember Jameis Winston with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. eating, what was it? Eating the W. I'm going to eat a W. We're going to eat a W. Okay. And Deshaun Jackson being in the background, be like, what the hell? I don't know if this topped the eating the W speech, but it was close to it. Jameis Winston says before the game to pump up his team, we're going to get down like the Browns and multiply. We're going to get down like the Browns and multiply. And he said it 2 or 3 times. And by the second half of the second time he said it and the full third time he said it, some of the guys were going along with it. And some of the other guys were like, what the hell is he talking about? We're going to get down like the Browns and multiply. Throws 4 touchdowns, 2 pick sixes. They lose the game. Franchise record in yards. The most Jameis Winston game in the history of Jameis Winston games. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I highly recommend looking that one up later. That's going to be a fun one for you. But yeah, Browns lost that one. Jerry Jeudy, 9 catches against his former team for 235 yards and a touchdown. So if you have Jerry Jeudy on your fantasy team, congratulations. Hopefully he wasn't on your bench like some people I know. For the people on the podcast, it's been a minute since I've done this, but I just pointed at myself because I'm the idiot that had Jerry Jeudy on the bench last night. I won my game, though, so I don't care. Anyway, so yeah, but I could have won $20. Could have won $20 for highest score of the season, or highest score of the week. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so yeah, all that. One more thing before I get to the chat check, okay? Can we talk about this the golden rule in baseball? This is ridiculous. Rob Manfred has decided to have a golden at bat. Jason Stark of The Athletic has reported that MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred decided the potential change on a recent podcast on an appearance with John Orand of Puck. Okay. There are a variety of rule changes that are being talked about. Now, the robo umpires I have been 100% for. That needs to happen. One of them has a little buzz going around it, which is the golden at bats. Essentially, teams could swap out any hitter in their lineup with anyone else, allowing for a superstar player to step to the plate in place of someone else. Major League Baseball isn't exactly sure how the rule would work, but the hypothetical is discussed. According to Stark, each team gets to pick one at-bat at any point in the game, but only once to play at its golden at-bat card. Okay. Another way. Each team gets a golden at-bat per game, except only in the 7th inning or later. Well, I think that would make the most sense. Another one is only a team that is trailing or tied in the 9th or later gets to use the golden at bat. I have been in favor of the pitch clock. I've been in favor of, not because I've wanted it, but because it's what baseball's evolved to, putting the ghost runner or putting the runner on second base in extra innings. Pitchers' arms today are made of glass, apparently, so this is the way we have to play baseball. No opposition for me. Instant replay. No opposition from me. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is made for TV drama that where's the strategy of the game? Getting through one, you're already limiting the amount of batters a pitcher can face. Like, not limiting would be the word. Having a minimum amount of batters a pitcher can face coming out of the bullpen. So now you're going to have that change as well. I hate this rule, no matter how it's implemented. Like, all of a sudden, just being able to bring up your cleanup hitter out of nowhere, I think is bush league, is absolute bush league. You pinch hit a guy that's already in the lineup. No thanks. No thanks. I understand, like, that's some XFL type stuff. That's some Savannah Bananas type stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. You get the idea. Let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzy. Get $20 off your first purchase with the Game Time app. That's right, $20 off your first purchase when you use promo code Farzy with the Game Time app. Want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show, whatever the case might be, Game Time app has you covered. Nothing like the thrill or hearing the squeak of the sneakers being at a basketball game, guys get checked into the boards, hearing the horn go off at a hockey game, whatever. All that you can experience with the Game Time app and save $20 off your first purchase. You can also use the Game Time Picks feature on the Game Time app, which allows you to filter out all the fluff and get right down to it. The best seats for the best prices with the Game Time Picks feature on the Game Time app. There's also the all-in pricing feature. Toggle this feature and you know exactly what you're paying before you check out. You can also view your seat before you buy it, so you take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. So download the app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase with the Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsStation.com. Before I get into the chat, just listen to Nick Sirianni about how he's boring one more time.
Not at all. I'm boring. We're going to be thinking about the Carolina Panthers. We're going to enjoy this one, and then we'll think about the Carolina Panthers. What I've learned in this league is if you look back, you know, you're climbing this mountain, and I know I've used this analogy a lot, but you're climbing this mountain. If you look back and you're climbing a mountain, you look down, you're going to slip. If you look too far up, you're going to slip.
See, that's it. You guys got to concentrate on the mountain while I handle my morning allergies. Yes, that was an excuse to just play that clip. Anyway, let's get into the chat check and see how you wonderful people are doing on this fine Tuesday morning already. Good Lord. Sean Kilrain, what's popping? April, what's going on? That game was crazy last night. April, yes, it was. QB, good morning, Sunshines. Good morning, QB. Wine Niners Wine, good morning, Farzy and friends. Late because I had to clear snow to start the day. Who is it snowing in our area? Did I see flurries? I didn't think I saw flurries in our forecast. Jason A, good morning. Damn, no snow here in Philly in the suburbs. I don't know if it's because I was a Catholic school kid, but like I don't pay much attention to the weather on a daily basis. And the reason I say this is because like all I had to worry about was like I'd open the door and be like, I need a jacket today. Like the outfit was already pre-planned. And I love that. But yeah, I think that's why I don't really pay much attention to the weather. People always tell me about the weather. I'm like, oh really? It's supposed to snow? I don't know. Unless I got something going on, then obviously I'm paying a little bit more attention. Like the week I got married, my wife turned into a meteorologist. She was just like, you know, there's like a 70% chance of precipitation. I'm like, really? I've never heard you use that word, but okay. Damn no so in Philly. Sean Gillespie, hello. There's a chance of flurries here today. People are already April's in the Carolinas. There is a chance of flurries here today, and people are already losing their minds. Eastern North Carolina is not built for winter. I just talked to my cousin. It was her birthday, who lives in Topsail. Wished her a happy birthday. So my voice was in the Carolinas, other than you having me on down there. So thank you. But good luck with the anticipated snowfall. Terry, what's going on? Terry, hello. I think that game was a message to the league. Zero doubt in my mind that the Eagles game against the Ravens, message to the entire NFL, a message to the entire NFL community, including analysts. Like I heard Mike Greenberg the other day, yesterday, and I love Greeny. I think he's great. But he's just like, I doubted Philadelphia. I was looking at all the wrong things, but Philadelphia is great. Yeah, they're pretty damn good. Jordan Davis was actually playing like a first-round pick in the Ravens game. He was. I want more of it. Like, I want him out there more. Maybe that's just not his game yet. I don't know. But I'd love to see it. Nolan Smith looked amazing. He absolutely did. April, SEPTA unprepared? This is my shocked look. Well, here's the thing. I don't blame SEPTA for this. I blame the city, and I blame the Sixers. Like, how have you not brought SEPTA into this yet? How is SEPTA like, oh, you guys want us at the party? Oh, that's going to be $21 million. I blame the city more than anything. Jameis Heartbreaker. That's funny. Sean Gillespie, where's the snow? Regional rail runs snow 10 minutes late as usual. Ugh. Sirianni, don't let Chiriani. Sean Gillespie, don't let your hair grow back. James Alexander the third. Good morning. We're going to win. Good morning. We're going to win against the Panthers. Damn right we are. Jets and Falcons, nothing's guaranteed. What are the Falcons now? 6-6? Yeah, I agree. Nothing's guaranteed. Jets last year was weird as hell. Yeah, anything can happen. But what do I expect to happen? I acknowledge anything can happen. But what I expect to happen is the Eagles win 37-10. Mint Diggity. Carolina is playing good right now. Yes, they are. Jackson Gosman, what's going on? We will beat the Panthers 47-7. Hugh will get his first interception, and the backups will be in for the whole fourth quarter. Sirianni. And that's where it ends. Sirianni 4. What, president? I don't know. That reminds me. I meant to get these numbers to you guys. So Jackson here is saying 47-7. Q will get his first interception. So Quentin Mitchell, as great as he's playing, good Lord. Shut up, Siri. Actually, before sorry, guys, I got to hit this one more time.
Yeah, I think just what I meant is just like that there's not a – it takes what it takes. I love when Jalen says that. Winning takes what it takes. Success takes what it takes. The grind takes what it takes. And, you know, it's not like this aha moment. It's just putting your head down and working.
I'm getting through it this morning, guys. This morning hours are killing me. Plus, I was thinking I'm getting a head cold. Anyway, defensive rookie of the year, cornerbacks, going back to 1992. Okay. Dale Carter in 92, 7 interceptions. 1998, Charles Woodson, 5 interceptions. 2015, Marcus Peters, 8 interceptions. 2017, Marshawn Lattimore, 5 interceptions. 2022, Sauce Gardner, 2. That's it, just 2. 2 interceptions. Quentin Mitchell needs to get some picks. He needs to get some picks. We all acknowledge he's playing great. We all love him to pieces. And he is. He's playing awesome. He needs some picks. Because it's going to be Jared Verse if he doesn't get interceptions. And we'll cry foul, but he needs some sexy stats. Now, I would love for the rest of the league to just say, well, he doesn't get interceptions because they don't throw his way because he's so good. Yeah, I would love that, but you're looking going back to 1992. Dale Carter was the last time I thought of that name. There's no defensive cornerback rookie of the year. There's no quarterback defensive rookie of the year that has won without picks. 2. Sauce Gardner got 2. Just get 2. Just get 2. That's all you need. Just get 2. That's the way we'll break it down. Kellen Moore is flexible, says J13. What's going on? Candidate for coach of the year next year, certainly. Sean Gillespie, listening to your players. Imagine that working, right? Sean Gillespie, Rory doesn't give a damn. She does not. Sean Kilrain, Paulie Pom-Poms, you saying on the postgame show, Seth was Seth said he was going to say something, but I didn't want to get canceled. J13. Sup my biatch. Oh, that's good. Tuesday, 9:10 in Japan. Loving it. Hey, welcome to the party. You're in Japan? What's going on? I've never been. Would love to go. Worried about all the injuries. I think we're good. I am worried about Dallas Goedert, but it's week to week, apparently. But I'll say this. Greg Calcaterra, in the time that he filled in while Dallas was out, pretty good. Pretty good. Listen to your players. Kelmore's flexible. I'm in Fangio country. I am and work in Dunmore. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mint Diggity, what do you say to the Chiefs not being in the same situation as the Eagles? They won the last 2 Super Bowls. Chiefs are saving them for the playoffs. That's for, yeah, I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. But I'm just talking about an isolated incident this season. They've reminded me of the Eagles last year. Do I have more confidence that the Chiefs will eventually start dominating? Yes. Yes, I do. Jonathan Harvey. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Eagles is going to be a fantastic matchup. TJ Watt, Nate Herbig. Lane John, yeah, it's going to be great. No, it's going to be a great matchup. Chiefs look beatable until the playoffs, right? Down like clown Charlie Brown. That's funny, Steve. Devontae, wouldn't mind Jameis Winston as a backup in Philly. Neither would I. Sean Kilray, Judy got me 45 points in her PPR league. Good for you. This golden rule-ish is nonsense. Come on now, says April. I agree. It's stupid. Oh, Jackson's calling for a sweep here. Coach of the year, Sirianni. GM of the year, Howie Roseman. Could see it. Jason A. What's up, Jason A? Sirianni is actually a good coach. The way he talks to the players and togetherness, I always thought that my issue is his X's and O's. The thing that really sticks out to me is when Jason Kelsey referred to him as the best meeting runner in the NFL. Like, the best coach he's ever had runs a meeting. So maybe that's where his bread is buttered. Mark, who did you start over Judy? That's a good question. Oh, I'm fighting through the allergies, folks. I'm sorry. Wait, that's not the right button. Hold on. I'll tell you. I still scored 121 points in my league. My wide receivers were A.J. Brown and Puka Nacua. My swing was Sam Laporta. He had 2 touchdowns on Thanksgiving. Thanks, Sam. So yeah, that's who I started. They all did well. They all did well. Need to draft a replacement on the edge to go along with Jalix and Nolan Smith. I think Eagles move on from Huff. I'd love to see how they would figure that out. Love to see it. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Just full of visitors. If you're going to talk, come into the camera angle. Come into the camera shot. Say good morning.
Right, Daddy. Why am I on your left and I'm on your right?
This is the monitor, and that's the camera. Just say good morning.
Good morning.
Right. Rory was here. She made a cameo earlier. Daddy's going to put a door on the studio one day. One day.
But don't let, I want to come with you in there.
Okay. Thank you. April says good morning. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Kyle says good morning.
Good morning.
There you go. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Morning up, Sean Gillespie, Little MacGyver. There she is. Not as many obstacles. Not as many obstacles as before. Rory is now in the desk somehow. I don't know how that happened. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. 76ers back at it tonight. 7 o'clock start time against the Hornets. Does not look like Joel Embiid's playing in that one. Shocker. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hit like and subscribe. Sniffles and Little Toots, says T-Bro. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzad. Hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Like and subscribe on the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel as well for all your Eagles pre- and post-game needs. Like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel as well. I know, right? It's more allergies. All right. Like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia for all your Sixers pre- and post-game needs as well. Or excuse me, post-game needs with yours truly. Thanks, everybody. Back with you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.